Hi, I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to Finextra TV's Thought Leadership Series. Today we're talking about redefining finance for good, and kindly joining us on the line to talk us through what this means and some of the trends we're seeing amongst customers is Eli Rosner, Chief Product and Technology Officer for Finastra. So, hello Eli, welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you and great to be with you guys again.
Yeah, good to see you again. Now, in the last few months, we've covered a lot of stories around the impact of COVID-19 on particular areas of the industry and how we should navigate the coming months. But could you start us off by setting the scene and telling us what you're seeing amongst your customers in the industry? It'd be good to get your perspective.
Sure. So obviously, this has been a year of monumental changes and disruption, and the world is a very different place from what it was 7 months ago. People, businesses, financial organizations, we all have had to adjust our plans and accept change. And the pandemic has brought the future forward. So somebody pressed the fast forward button with the digital transformation, higher cloud demands, and more. And the common theme is that everything is just happening much faster. Mm-hmm. At Finastra, what we're doing, we're focused on helping our customers navigate the environment, and we're enabling them to access innovation faster through our platform, fusionfabric.cloud, and continuing to deliver remote banking services through the cloud, for example. We're in a unique time now because financial institutions now have what's called the new permission. I read the research from the World Economic Forum that was just published, and they say that they've talked to several hundred financial institutions and customers and regulators, and they say that now financial institutions have what they call new permission from the shareholders, from the regulators, and from the customers to make changes to their operating model and make them faster. So for us and our customers, the changes come with the new awareness around how we can empower better the outcomes for society, which we call redefining finance for good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Could you tell us what that means, redefining finance for good?
Sure. Redefining finance for good means it's about how do you deepen the role of financial services and you bring more people into the banking system. So at Finastra, we started looking across our customers, our partners, and the ecosystem holistically, and we saw the impact on the end users and the people and communities where millions were impacted. So we're looking at how our teams, our technology, and our partners can help tackle big challenges. For example, small and medium enterprise funding, financial exclusion, and fairness in financial services. I can share with you a couple of examples. Shall I?
Let's go ahead.
Sure. So for example, if you take the SME funding gap, Finastra is piloting a revolutionary microfinance initiative in Kenya that's called Trust Machine. Together, we partner with companies around data, financial literacy, blockchain, and scenario modeling, and the resulting loan and balance sheet optimization solution that we created aims to reduce the funding gap by 1% in the country. This alone could create 50,000 jobs to encourage sustainable economic growth in Kenya. So just one example that we did in Kenya. Another example is in Bangladesh. IFIC Bank in Bangladesh is helping to bring more people into the banking ecosystem. Using Finastra solutions, IFIC Bank is now onboarding more than 10,000 customers every month and delivering the benefits of digital banking to a much wider audience, many of whom didn't ever have a bank account before. Those are just a couple of examples, and as we go through the discussion, I may come up with a couple of other examples.
Mm-hmm. So talk me through strategy then. So would you say that we've seen a big change around strategy, and is this an example of such a change in redefining finance for good?
So I gave you a couple of examples. One is SME funding. The other one was for helping unbanked population. This is not really a change in our strategy. I wouldn't say that we've changed our strategy. We've always had, we always said that we want to do well by doing good. So our strategy, and we always said, our tagline is the future of finance is open. So our strategy hasn't changed. It has just been accelerated. It's a defining moment for the industry. The financial institutions now, as I mentioned earlier, have new permissions, and we see it as our duty to have them move fast and make big changes. So this is a real chance for the industry to redefine finance for good. I'll give you another example. In the US, when COVID-19 happened, community-focused banks and credit unions in the US found that they needed to provide access to critical financial assistance for small businesses that were impacted by the pandemic. So under the CARES Act, Finastra pivoted to build a CARES Act solution. And it's estimated that on that solution alone, over $6 billion of loans have been processed through the system, helping over 1 million people receive paychecks with the Paycheck Protection Program and support their families. So is it a change in our strategy? I wouldn't say that. I say it's an acceleration of our strategy. And we see ourselves with the global financial services community as a duty. We have a duty and a great opportunity to accelerate through change. And those are big words, but we mean that, and build a better tomorrow for millions of people around the world.
And as you say, the future of finance is open, and that's kind of where I want to end on, because I'd like to take a step into the future, if you will, a sort of crystal ball question. How do you expect things to play out in this space for both you and your customers?
We think that some of the changes that are happening now will stay there for good. I've talked to several customers over the last few months, and for example, notary signatures and things that we used to go and we have to do in person with people, those things in 3 years from now, I think all of them will be 100% digitized. It's just become a new norm. Setting up appointments with a banker, I can't go meet a banker now. If I do, I have to schedule an appointment, and I got to wait 2 weeks until they're ready to see me. Well, so now we're meeting here. The acceptance of the cloud technologies has become much stronger. When we talk to our customers, let's say 2 years ago, and we said, how about migrating some workflows to the cloud? They said, we're not ready. We don't want to talk about it. Now customers are bringing it up in meetings. The usage of data. So we're big at Finastra about putting cloud technologies and AI together, and the benefits are obvious. But what happened here is that customers are now asking us, they're more willing to share more data with us, of course, under privacy, protection, security, and so forth. But they're willing to share more data because the digital interaction with people has become so critical, and AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning technologies are playing even a bigger role in improving the interaction with people. So those things are here to stay, they're coming faster, and it has become even a more exciting time for financial services.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to catching up further down the line and reflecting on this interview. But for now, Eli, let's leave it there. And thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Hannah, and thank you for having me. Take care and stay safe.
You too.